Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and the final episode of The Acolyte. That's right, we made it. As bad as this series was, at least now we can say it's over. But what about episode 8? Did it live up to expectations? Did it deliver anything surprising? Did it manage to break canon like previous episodes? Were there any cool cameos? And did it redeem the rest of the series in any way? These are all great questions, and the answers to all of them are not the ones you want. Episode 8, while being the episode with the best lightsaber battle throughout the whole run of the show, a battle between Master Saul and Smilo Ren, was a mess of a narrative in terms of structure and execution. Once again, nothing made sense. Everything felt forced in terms of plot points and character choices. There were attempts at shocking reveals, but nothing was shocking. Everything was expected. Nothing was out of left field, except the way in which the show portrayed the Star Wars universe. Yes, there is a Darth Plagueis cameo. At least we think it's Plagueis, and I guess now one of the most powerful Sith Lords in the history of Star Wars is some old decrepit man hiding from a 19-year-old girl in a cave. And just so you know, he's not really that powerful, because now the whole cheating death thing that Palpatine talks to Anakin about in Revenge of the Sith, turns out Plagueis just stole that from the lesbian witches. I mean, wow, what a way to have one of the most anticipated characters in all of Star Wars canon make his first appearance. Just absolutely deconstructed and torn to pieces before he even gets a line to speak. And that is, of course, if it is Plagueis, or it could be some other character. Who knows? We'll have to wait for season 2, but we'll talk about season 2 in a minute. And yes, if you didn't think it then, you better think it now. Leslie Headland's war on religion is in full swing as the Jedi are labeled in this episode as a dangerous faith. And yes, they turn out to be the ultimate bad guys. The Jedi, protectors of peace across the galaxy? Nope, not anymore. The Jedi are the ultimate evil in the universe. Master Saul, he's a liar, a deceiver, a murderer. Master Ro, manipulative liar and political opportunist. The Jedi Order itself, corrupt, festering with possible terrorists just waiting for the right moment to go rogue. And then there's Master Yoda, and we'll get to him in a moment, but first, let's get to the plot. In this episode, we get Osha and Smilo Ren going back to the highly flammable rock mountain that was the home of the lesbian space witches to confront May and Master Saul, who are also in a confrontation as May escapes Master Saul, only to get into an escape vehicle so she can fly off to the highly flammable lesbian witch mountain, which is where Master Saul was headed to in the first place, because why else would he be in that area? So, May escaped Master Saul, who was bringing her to the very place to which she was escaping to. For the Acolyte, this is par for the course when it comes to writing. May sneaks into the mountain via the way she got out when she lit the rocks on fire 15 years ago. Master Saul just kind of walks in. Osha tells Smilo Ren that they need to get the elevator working. It's the only way in, but Smilo Ren disappears and gets into the fort. Who knows how? It's never explained. And Osha hotwires the elevator because I'm sure the battery is still holding a charge after sitting dormant for 15 years. Yep, again, this is definitely the Acolyte. Master Saul and Smilo Ren duke it out. It's a very cool battle. I'll give them that. Master Saul is winning. May shows up. Osha shows up. Saul admits to being the one who ended their mother's life. He leaves out the part where she goes full space dust and turns into a menacing threat, while the rest of the witches are chanting and pointing weapons at them. You know, self-defense. But hey, we all knew from episode 1 Saul was going to die. Osha, the good twin, force chokes him, takes his lightsaber, and bleeds it red, and is now a Sith. Again, you could have seen all this happening from episode 1. Master Ro shows up with about 20 Jedi. She was busy all this time making mysterious phone calls that are never explained to someone who is never revealed, and talking with senators about the nature of their religion being corrupt and a threat to the Republic. And we all know she's a shady person. Why? Because she's a Jedi and is probably partly behind what is going on, but you never get anywhere with that narrative thread. So May, Osha, and Smilo run off to the pretty tree where Osha agrees to train as a Sith, even though she rejected being trained as a Sith about 15 minutes earlier in that same episode, and for some reason May has to stay behind. Why? Don't know. May's not allowed to go with Smilo and her sister Osha. I mean, why can't May go with her sister and Smilo back to the unknown planet with the island and the closed optional swimming pool? Never explained. Instead, they force wipe her mind of every memory back to when she was about 8 years old, and then they leave her sitting under the tree drooling and staring into space, only to be captured by Jedi a few minutes later. In the meantime, Smilo and Osha fly back to Spooky Island and stand there together, holding hands, looking out at the water, because this is now a love story? A romance, I guess? I mean, that's right, you love the whole will they, won't they dynamic with Rey and Kylo Ren. Well, You get more of it here. Congratulations to all who wanted that. And finally, Master Ro betrays Master Saul in death because in order to cover up everything, including her own former pupil's involvement in all of this, she lies to the Senate Committee and Chancellor. She tells them that Master Saul went crazy and killed everyone, which would not hold any water if you started to look into it with any depth. There are dozens of witnesses who saw May kill Carrie Ann Moss in episode 1. There are dozens of witnesses, actual other Jedi, who know that Saul had nothing to do with the death of Master Corbin, who voluntarily drank the poison. There's the rat-looking thing they use as a tracker dog, Basil, who can attest to the existence of a Sith. There are multiple witnesses to Saul's whereabouts when the first murder occurred. This is the dumbest writing ever. So, Ro lies to the Senate with a story that she must have cleared with the Jedi Council because a rogue Jedi murdering dozens across the galaxy. Surely that must have been a conversation with the High Council. Nope. Guess not, because the last scene is Master Ro walking into Master Yoda's meditation room and declaring, "Sorry to disturb you, Master, but we need to talk." So either Yoda is an idiot to believe all of this, or he gets told the truth, and this whole time during the prequels, he is lying his ass off to the rest of the council, which makes him just as bad as anybody else. Either way, the Acolyte's only goal is to rip away established lore, established characters who are held in high regards, and destroy them in every way possible. No longer is Anakin's existence meaningful. The Skywalker saga is no longer meaningful. Everything that has any measure of importance now stems from the space lesbians and their witchcraft. The prequels and the originals are a lie. The whole series made me think Rian Johnson wasn't so bad after all. So, to that I say, holy shit. Thank God it's over, and season 2 is probably not going to happen according to a lot of the rumors. Now, this may not have been a television show that Star Wars fans wanted or enjoyed very much, but it is exactly what Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy wanted. With everything that has been revealed about Disney over the past few days, with the leaks from insiders and the data hack that occurred over the weekend, we now know officially beyond hearsay and conjecture and rumor that Disney's agenda is to move in a much more progressive direction, and things that existed in the past, things like Star Wars, which has messages centered around the bonds between fathers and sons, of family, of normal social behavior and interactions, those are the things that need to be torn down. Therefore, in the end, The Acolyte, as much as I did not like the show or enjoy its writing, directing, or acting, as much as I want to call it a failure, I cannot. It was a success. It did exactly what it wanted to do, which is jettison what came before it like garbage and become a social platform for an LGBTQ message. And if you don't believe that, then you have not been paying attention, because whenever this show is talked about, posted about, or mentioned in mainstream media, it is inevitably the creators of the show and the actors in the show who are talking, and they are not talking about the plot or the overall cohesion of the Star Wars franchise. No, they are talking about gender and they're talking about race. They are projecting themselves, not the story. And from the beginning, this was the stated goal of Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy, and to that, we have to be intellectually honest, she succeeded. And that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did you make it through all 8 episodes? Do you want to see a season 2? And if you want more pop culture fun, click on the thumbnails at the end of this video for my movie and comic book reviews. And if you did enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. I am still your reluctant gringo. I'm from south of the border. Salut and a huevo.